Pretty interesting interaction between former Vegeta voice actor Brian Drummond and a fan who wanted to give him a gift. Brian's response was kind of uncalled for, but it's not as bad as a lot of others. So I want to talk about this and give my thoughts on it. Now, one of the things that I've noticed since the whole Vic thing last year is a lot of these voice actors, they really do kind of look down on fans a little bit. And the idea here, kind of similar to comic book creators, seems to be, are you good enough to be my fan? And that's kind of what I got from Brian with this, which is unfortunate because I really like his Vegeta. If you don't know who he is, before the Funimation cast took over and did the Dragon Ball voices, originally there was a group in Canada that did the voices. It's the Ocean Group. Here's a sample of Brian's voice.
It's over 9,000!
So that's from the famous meme. But originally he did a lot of episodes as Vegeta. Eventually Funimation did everything in-house. And that's, when Chris Sabat and everybody else came over and took over the characters. But Brian did a lot of voice work as the character from the beginning of Dragon Ball Z all the way up until Goku takes on the Ginyu Force. He did all those episodes. Now, Funimation eventually went back and redubbed the Saiyan Saga and the Namek Saga, which is what he was a part of, effectively erasing the Ocean Group. But there's still few fans out there like myself that remember the Ocean Group. I preferred them over the Funimation voices. I thought a lot of them fit the characters better. That's just my opinion. We can disagree on that. That's not really the point of the video. Brian still voices a lot of anime, and I think he's a very good voice actor. However, he's choosing to kind of get a little bit political here with this fan, and I just think he went about things wrong. So I'm going to go over what happened and then give my thoughts on some stuff. So Brian Drummond, the prolific voice actor known for voices in Gundam Wing, Dragon Ball Super, and, of course, the clip I showed you, the famous over 9,000 line for Vegeta in the Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z, rescinded an offer to accept a fan gift after presuming the fans' political viewpoints and claiming that the Twitter timeline featured numerous offensive tweets and retweets. So to accept the gift, he went and looked through the guy's Twitter timeline, and it would seem that he is a supporter of Vic Mignogna, which I think is a fair point, because you're not allowed to be a fan of Vic Mignogna or support him if you're a voice actor. Even accepting gifts from somebody that supports him. And there seems to be some evidence of that, and I'm gonna show you in a little bit. But Twitter user TimeKeister91, also known as Mr. Sarcasm, is a fan who regularly creates stylized collages composed of various characters voiced by a given voice actor. And you can see some of his work right here. Here's a woman wearing one of the shirts, and right here. So you have a couple of voice actors right here who've accepted this work. And what he does is he takes all the characters that somebody has voiced and he puts a collage of them together. I think that's actually pretty cool. If you're a fan of somebody, like you can get all of the stuff they've done on a little thing. I think that's actually a pretty cool idea, to be honest. And he was going to give one of those to Brian, which I think is very nice, to create that and just send it to him for free, by the way. Wasn't going to charge him. But here's several voice actors accepting a gift. Here's fan works accepted by Fire Emblem Fates and Naruto 1010. Voice actress Danielle Judovitz made a shirt for her. You have another one right here. Voice actor for Lord Jiraiya from Naruto. Got a couple of his characters right here. And then you have Steve Stolley, voiced Neji, right here. And then this was the mug he was going to give Brian. So this is the tweet. Brian Drummond, now I know you said no on the shirt, but would you turn down a coffee mug with your characters on display? Very excitedly, Brian says, now you're talking. It even puts 2 exclamation points on there. That's like double the excitement. That's like double excitement. This prompted Mr. Sarcasm to reach out for shipping info. DM me somewhere to ship it to, and I'll have it made and sent out. And then this is where Brian says, "It's nice that you've enjoyed my work, Tim, but I can't accept this gift. I just had a look at your timeline, and I was very sorry to see numerous offensive tweets and retweets. What you say has consequences. Hashtag believe women. Hashtag BLM. Hashtag Trump out 2020. So this is where I was a little bit thrown off. Now, I don't think that his responses, and I'm going to show you more of his responses here, are as bad as other voice actors, but it's like you didn't have to. This is like a shaming publicly, and it's a way to cover his own back in case people come after him. And it's over the top. His hashtags here that he put on, which I think is kind of out of the line, and really it's a way to draw people to the tweet as well. Even if he didn't mean to do that, by putting those hashtags on there, people do search those hashtags and see his response and could go on there and start attacking Mr. Sarcasm. Now, I don't want to say that was Brian's intent. However, it is something that can happen. Also, Brian, I'm sure, has a large Twitter following because of his position, and that's kind of like sicking your fans on him. And I don't think that a voice actor, a professional, should be doing that. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that's not what he was intending to do. However, I think that was kind of uncalled for and a little unprofessional. Plus, you're not the arbiter of fan behavior. That's not what a professional is supposed to do. You should be... The best way to handle all this would have just been to not accept the gift. Say, I'm very flattered, and I think that it's a fine cup or mug or whatever. I just don't like to accept gifts like this over the internet. Apologies. I think that would have been a fine way to go about it. Instead, he gets political and says, I don't like your responses. And I went and looked through Mr. Sarcasm's timeline, and it does seem like it is his support for the I Stand with Vic community that seems to have triggered that, which is a shame. Also, there's a lot of canceling going on right now, and it could be in response to that. Of course, there's also the BLM stuff, which he has some critical tweets of some of that on there. And that seems to be what Brian's triggered about. However, as bounding into comics reports here, there doesn't seem to be any Trump stuff on here, which is surprising. Like, why would you put this Trump out thing on there? So I just don't get this, man. And it just seems like it was just unnecessary to do this. Now, there's more back and forth here. This is a response to somebody. I have his too. He signed my Rock the Dragon set 5 years ago, and I was always the one saying I prefer him over Sabbath any day. I didn't know religious beliefs make you hate fans. Now, I don't see anything in here about religious beliefs, so I'm not sure why Mr. Sarcasm thought that. Brian clears it up. Please read my original reply to you, Tim. I said nothing of religious beliefs, zero, and nothing of hating you, absolutely not. I found some of your tweets offensive and therefore said I won't accept the gift. These are my beliefs. You don't have to agree. I'm sorry you were hurt by this. Mr. Sarcasm responds, says, is exactly what I said. I don't want anyone to lose their jobs, and forgive Brian if he doesn't want a mug or a shirt. There are others that do. I wanted to show him appreciation for signing my stuff for me 5 years ago. So that's pretty much it. And it's unfortunate. So I think, Brian seems somewhat sincere here. I don't hate you. And, I just don't want to accept the gift because of your tweets. To me, it still seems kind of a stretch to go that far over some tweets. It's not your job, Brian, to police fan behavior. Okay? The best way to have handled this, to be honest, would have been just not said anything and not had responded to him. Or look through his Twitter history, I guess, and then not respond or respond in a better fashion. This just came off as kind of hurtful. I mean, you can't say the guy got excited that you wanted his gift, and then you say, oh wait, hold on, I'm offended. Here's these these political hashtags. You kind of threw him under the bus to show support for a bunch of political ideologies, and that's just kind of dirty. And I thought you were better than that. It appears that you're somewhat no different than the other people that have asked fans to lick their boots, in my opinion. I think you came across this interaction as the bad guy here. I'm sure you don't see yourself that way, but I would say next time just do better, Brian. I think that this was the wrong move, man. I don't think you're as bad as the other voice actors, but this is kind of the behavior they've been showing for a while. I would just say be better. But this is a very disappointing interaction by Brian. I hope Mr. Sarcasm didn't spend too much money on that mug, but it's just a shame. You can't even be nice and try to give a gift to a voice actor anymore based on your political thoughts or what you support. It's a shame. It's a shame that this is what we're at. This is where we're at now. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Do you think Brian's in the clear here? Do you support him? Do you support Mr. Sarcasm? What's your take on this? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also, throw a like up if you would. Share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.